Snizzle rat. Oh, snizzle. Oh, snizzle, snizzle, snizzle. Snizzle, 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 snizzle. Snizzle.
The one upstairs full. You want to go upstairs? Huh? You can't drink this water. You can't drink this water. At least you can. Alright? You can't drink this water, man. I mean, it ain't gonna hurt you, but it's not good for you either. You're gonna get a lick. It's distilled. You want some? It don't smell the same as the water you give me. It don't smell the same. It don't smell the same. So you won't even drink it. Oh man. Don't check the bottle either. Oh yeah, you've been killing me. He was like, he's like, you like, ew. Your face. You like that? And then, oh, but you want to look the outside. This is where I touched it at. Okay, let's put it back. Okay? The one upstairs is full. It's going, so you go upstairs. And watch TV. It's on. Your Animal Planet. It's on. Okay? Animal Planet is on. Go upstairs. pulling it. Stop pulling it. Thank you. Pretty interesting. Yep. Stop pulling it. What is wrong with you, bro? Don't look at me like that. That's not nice. That's how you make a mess. Don't pull it. Just drink. Yeah, you. You. I'm talking to you. Drink. Drink. Don't be looking at. I'm not giving you no soft to the mall, man. No. Drink. Don't you pull it. Stick your big head in there and drink. Spill it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Drink your water, man. Stop being a big head. I said drink your water, man. Stop being a big head. I'm gonna top it off. This is the good stuff. That's what you're looking at? That's why you keep looking over there? You know, you're getting pretty wise, man. Oh, yeah, you drink that. Wait a minute, that's the charcoal. I know that one. That's why your pee don't be stinking. Yeah, is that the charcoal? Hint, a hint of sucker. Oh, yeah, let me make sure of that. eat, Bubba? Then we're gonna eat a big ass turkey sandwich. We're gonna eat a big turkey sandwich and some home fries. We're gonna eat a big big turkey sandwich with some home fries. Drink your water, man. Stop looking over here, bro. You like being nosy, man. You worse than a old woman. What's the name of that damn TV show? That retarded ass TV show? A Living Color. Don't mind me. I ain't seen nothing. That's what it is. That's what you be doing. I know it. I need to start growing some of these watermelons. For real. For reals. I need to start growing some of these watermelons. I can live off watermelon myself. It's funny how everybody got into the watermelon kick, and I can live off of it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I can live off of watermelon. It's supposed to get cool, real cool tonight, man. It's supposed to get cool tonight, all right? So for those who wanted to know, this is what I got. This is a Cali Muscle Celsius. And somebody sent me a couple of them, okay? So for the person that asked, why don't you just Google it? But this is it. But still there. Crackies. A whole bunch of different kind of cookies. So somebody sent me like 2 or 3 of these. I don't know. I think I gave one away and I got 2. Got one here. I brought one over here and it was in the box, and one that's in the fridge. That's kids come by. I think I gave away one and split it in 2. So, because I mean they're not big, but the best cookies, I think. All right. So there you go. Crackies. That's here. There you go. That's what it looked like. Okay, Crackies cookies if you want to screenshot it. All right. It's too much sugar. I mean, every once in a while I might have a donut because sugar doesn't really create diabetes. It's all the chemicals. It's the fact that a lot of sugar is actually made from dehydrated beets. They process, so it's processed sugar. So in itself, it's damning. But you know, it is what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and read a few books here, and it's not gonna be a long read actually. I am pretty hungry, and I was watching Village of the Damned. It seems like what we're in now. You know, I don't like speaking about things that make people, you know, get a little rough, you know, because it gives it energy. You know, when you get scared, they feed off of that energy. I'm dead serious. But they always talk about Hamas. You got ISIS. You got all them people here. Over 8 million people came across the border, led by this so-called administration, this fake administration, with all these fake Jews, these Zionists, and all the positions, places of power. I'm turning off the notifications. Stay right there and be quick in this talk because I really want to get to read, and I don't want to be all long with it. So hold on. Okay, they're all off. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna read to you. And I'm going to read to you a little something, and then read a little part of the book, and then we'll get into Hidden Lands Beyond Antarctica and Heaven Barrels, okay? No!
Accessibility shortcuts.
Accessibility in my butt. You just pop out of nowhere. Anyway, let me go ahead and read, okay? Exposing the Expositions, 1851-1950. So I'm going to read small excerpts out of this book. I'm not going to read it in its entirety. Go back and watch the videos if you like. This is the revised edition of the 2020-21 from 2019. Because when the thing first kicked off, he really got involved and decided to write a book. The first one is not really that. It's information-wise, a lot of pictures. It's pretty decent, but it's not the best. But this is by Howdy Makowski. Okay. So what I want to do is go ahead and give you the Expositions Exposed. 2021 is a fully revised and edited version of the 2019 original book. Have we been lied to? During 1850 to 1915, great expositions fairs were built worldwide, including Chicago, 1893, Paris, 1900, St. Louis, 1904, San Francisco, 1915. These giants were up to 12,000 and over acres. Do you know what 12,000 acres alludes to? I believe it's about 18 to 19 miles. How many of y'all ever seen them build
structures on a mile alone and how long it take. You never seen it. But you watch how long it take them to build a house on an acre. And so let me finish reading this, okay? Anyway, up to 12,000 acres, 1,200, no, yeah, it's 1,200. I don't know why it did that, because actually, let me go back to the second page, because it was supposed to be 1,200. I don't know why, because it's up to 12 to 27,000, depending on the large area. So we're talking about in excess of, excuse me, no, wrong. 12 acres is equal to about 0.188 miles. Well, that's about 12 acres. So, excuse me, but there were some as far as big, and y'all, for those who remember me reading this, up to 20,000 acres. Like that giant, like San Francisco. And there was only one part that was blown up to be for a picture. The rest was still there, blown up. Okay? I mean, when did they bomb our people in Oklahoma? Okay? So let me finish the back here. Acres expos were built in impossible times of less than 2 years. Then following the end of the event, they were purposely destroyed and thrown into landfills. Each of these fairs were built to resemble ancient Rome, and I now feel that it is no accident. But were the buildings of these world expositions new ones being built or old ones being restored? Part of a civilization that was coexisting with ancient Rome and Greece. We need to knock away those terms. This book looks at these questions and more. Okay, now the photo in the beginning is the looking west from the Peristyle Court of Honor and Grand Basin Columbian World Exposition of Chicago, Illinois, which was still Chicago of 1893. Okay, now here, let me go ahead and read this little part here. Basic history claims that what became the modern great fairs evolved from local English and French fairs of the 1700s. What was going on in the 1700s? The 1700s in Europe, which were a sort of combined business exhibits and public entertainment for the local areas. Bancroft's look at French fairs are very telling, for after mentioning the fairs at Lyons and St. Denis, granted, to the monks of by Dagobert, okay, he then mentions two locations, Champagne and Troyes. These are the two French sites that are most connected with the stories of the Holy Grail and with the Knights Templar whose charter came at Troy. Now, this is an interesting thing to consider. The early French fairs are linked with the two most mysterious concepts of the last 1,000 years. While the first large fair happened at the end of the 1700s in Prague, for those however you want to interpret it. It was an exhibition the next year of 1798 in Paris that was special. Current history still claims that the first world-sanctioned fair happened in England in 1851, as mentioned, but this is untrue. The first one worthy of the name, though lasting but for 3 days and with only 110 exhibitors, was the Temple of Industry, erected by Napoleon in 1798 in the Champs de Mars. Napoleon was at the forefront of these early fairs. He was off capturing Egypt at the time and kept them going once he became emperor. That they came just 10 years after the start of the French Revolution, to which may reveal a hidden reasoning for these original fairs. The time after the Revolution had giant festivals, such as the Festival of Law, 1792, or the Festival of the Supreme Being, 1794, which alludes to what? White supremacy. And there was a need to revise the history of France to suit its purpose. You never even thought about looking around the world as far as the history of Tartary, did you? I just thought I would give you a little mentorship and enlightenment. Now we can get into the hidden lands. I thought that would be of some importance. And after I get done reading these small partials, then I want to read something to you that was shared by one of our beloved sisters. Okay. So this is Hidden Lands Beyond Antarctica, the continuation of Morris's Moore's journey between interconnected planets, which is by Claudia Nocelli, which is Nos Confundum, which means no confusion. No, author Claudia Nocelli, which has his website and everything right there. Okay. He has a YouTube, an Instagram account. Those are only two. I didn't look beyond that. So here we are in the lands of Lemuria, the connection with the beginning of humanity. Okay, we were dealing with the lands of custodians the other day, 2 days ago. Many books can lead the confusion that the lands of Lemuria would be close to Asgard because it goes back to the very human creation, or rather since the source took physical bodies to undertake an arduous and winding path facing those who would later be its parasitic colonizers. For this reason, we can find maps of Lemuria close to the famous Atlantis North. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? When you think about all the stuff, how they're thrown around. Now, these sort of writings are all over in a plethora of books. And this individual, how he references sources, you can check it out for yourself by putting his name, Nos Confundum, and see the references of sources that he utilized to write this. But a lot of books he hasn't even seen, but he may be reading them now. You know how it is when you get involved in something. Anyway, excuse me. Atlantis north of Asgard, where it all began. But with the passage of time, we have confirmed and updated in our database that Lemuria, which so many references are found even today within the walled lands here, is connected to the lands just north of the ancient lands of Anak. These lands were visited on several occasions by the ancestors, the Anakim giants and giant humans of old Tartary, and has a great direct connection to Asgard and the structures that could still be found there. Unfortunately, reaching the gates of Asgard is far more simple, and the ancestors have suffered many casualties trying to do so. It's far from simple, excuse me. Okay? As have other races, all right? The casualties, that is. It is a very controlled site, as it could answer great questions of the existence and history of mankind, as well as we know that there are portals inside and outside our homelands that could connect and transfer matter directly there. Although it is very unsafe due to the instability of these. After the departation of the inhabitants of Tartary in their escape out of the first dome, entire families had to find refuge wherever they could, although the closest lands with which they collided were those mentioned above as ancestral lands, the lands of the Shiki and the ancient lands of Anak, and the same welcome families escaping from the great war between humans, giant humans of Tartary, and against the custodians and Anunnaki, as many have stated, and the people who I've talked to who fought in that so-called, even in the Civil War, said they fought giants. But you will never find that in history unless you dig deep. I'm telling you, they said they fought giants, regardless of my great ancestors being over 6 feet. They fought some big things. Anyway, also other groups. The Great War between humans, giant humans of Tartary against the custodians and Anunnaki. Also, other groups decided to move further away, believing that their enemies would still pursue them, arriving to the lands behind the first stone. Now, for that reason, some came to the shores of a new land that was to be Lemuria. Now, y'all know I have The Women of Lemuria, the book. That's why I was reading it. And neither one of these reference each other. And settled there. The mystery arose when records of strange subway bases of unknown origin were found by means of hatches closed from the inside that prohibited the ancestral humans to go inside and investigate thoroughly. Then, with the passage of time, 5 more hatches were discovered along the coasts of these new lands, and by means of a message to the leaders, the Anakim giants approached Lemuria in order to unveil the mystery of the hatches. It took a long time to penetrate them, and then advanced and very strange machinery systems were found there. For this reason, the giants and giant humans and experienced ancestors joined together to carry out a deep investigation, although the origin of these structures could never be revealed. It was conjectured that they could belong to a totally advanced hybrid race, since inside there were carried out studies of the manipulation of the temporal and genetic line, remote vision by advanced systems inside matter, and other studies that we cannot expose in these texts. But the study of these lands took another interest on the part of the leaders, since the direct connection with Asgard and the beginning of the humanity refloated there. Today, they are inhabited by a strange race that has arrived from outside the dome, which peacefully integrated into the nearby ancestral and Anak lands. And we'll get into the arcane lands next, but I find it kind of for me, for you, plausible, because who would want to take over digging up the soil? I mean, our brother Kiramia was doing a live. I don't know if he had finished, because I said I would come on at this time to do it, and I'll go back and finish it. I was watching it for an hour, where it's well known that the saber-toothed lion is bigger than the African lion, more powerful. It is well known that there were elephants and camels here. Well known. And there's a number of books I haven't read yet that I've read that allude to this. Anywhere from 60 feet to, much deeper than that. Okay? We always hear of one flood. Now, the flood doesn't necessarily mean all of Earth, but you must remember the majority of our Earth, right now, in most places, is 400 feet above water. All right, based on the last reset. But it's well known that there are places that are thousands of feet above where they used to be. It's well mapped out from my time in the Navy that there are cities in the ocean. This is a well-known fact. You can research this. And there are things that look like stone that look like flying vessels. And it's not just the Gibraltar. It's other places. You have to look at it. Even the weird shaped pyramid of sort, man-made, obviously, off the coast of Japan. Osaka, is it? Well, anyway, and even off of Hawaii. They're everywhere. The fact that there's a story in one of my books, I got to find it, where it talks about Easter Island having a main road, it was like a main bridge of some sort to walk back and forth. Okay? So these things can be researched, all right? So let's get ahead and get into Heaven Bearers, all right? The Great Reset of 1834 and the Mud Flood by Janine Helen. That's her, if you can see her up close, in South Africa. She is actually showing you one of the places that goes very deep underground. The city built upon it. On top of it, nobody's down there. It's a city. We have Hope Ransom, who she, walking around her place, saw exactly what I was expressing to her that I used to look at when I was a teenager in Newark, New Jersey, and even Montclair, dealing with Lackawanna Plaza, that had a raised train station that had this big section that it wasn't operating when we came in. And it used to take the whole locomotive and rotate it. We're talking about way up there, people. It would rotate it to change its direction. They destroyed all of it. The whole thing was like a big sky boardwalk. Why was it built so high? Imagine dealing with a flood and believing that you need to be able to transport people out of here in case another flood happened, because it was sturdy, very well put together with some of the best teak and mahogany wood that can withstand all tremors and everything. Okay? There are pictures. If you want to look up Lackawanna Plaza, Montclair, New Jersey. And that train stayed above ground, going very high, all the way down through Glen Ridge, Bloomfield, Newark. It was up there. Newark, they tore this down way, because there's a lot of brick city. It's called Brick City for a reason, y'all. Yes, built by us. So let's go ahead and get in here. I just gave you that little bit of tea so you can research it. I know some of you are, heavy in your religions. You're going, he's crazy or whatever. Do the research. Wouldn't waste your time, trust me. So let's pick up back where we left off over 2 days ago. There is a knock on the door, and she looks up to who it is. It is Jane, and she asks if she can enter the room. All right, so this is Bonnie, okay? And Jane's at the door, who's married to Malcolm. You know, she just had another rendezvous with a young man wanting to learn more about the blood flood, just to reiterate. Yes, of course, Jane, do come in. She sits down next to her on the bed with a motherly expression on her face. You have a curious mind, dear, but that is a dangerous thing these days. You understand what I am saying? You mean I will disappear suddenly? She snaps and regrets being so childish. She brushes her hair back and gently and pauses. Let us just be more careful, shall we? And stay away from Henry. He is a charmer and will only get you into more trouble. You know Henry? Bonnie replies. She is surprised and suddenly happy and upbeat. He is my nephew. Now listen to me. Stay away from him. Going to get that boy killed, huh? Excuse me. Don't give that no energy either. Be unkillable. Anyway, if Malcolm finds out, let us just say you don't want to test his patience more than you already have, okay? Okay. She agrees and lies back down on the bed and thinks about all the children who have no parents and places her hand on her belly, wondering if she will one day have a child of her own. Her face cringes at the thought of having Malcolm's baby. He has been kinder to her lately, but she still doesn't like him. He is a terrible husband, and she can't see him being a better father, undoubtedly. She thinks about whether she would want a boy or a girl, and what name she would choose. Well, Malcolm walks into the room a while later and sees that she is fast asleep on the bed, and for a tiny moment, he watches her with a smile on her face, on his face, excuse me. He thinks about Annabeth and the fact that they were happy for a little while. Then he told her the truth. He thought he was doing the right thing and told her about the heaven bearers and who he really is. He explained what really happened 17 years ago and why he married her. She sat on a chair in his study and listened to every word he had to say and was visibly shaken. This is his first wife, or second one, I think. He understood it was a lot to take in, but he never expected that she would run off the very next day while he was at work and that he would never see her again. He wonders if she is alive and where she went, what he would say, and if he ever saw her again, would he want to see her again? He shakes his head and reminds himself that he has Bonnie now. He looks at her again, and the smile disappears from his face, and he leaves the room. 4 more months pass by in a flash. She wakes up before the sun is up. All the birds are chirping, and she is dog sick, lying on the bathroom floor in agony and clutching onto a towel. She washes her face with some cold water, and she can feel her throat burning from all the puking. She drinks some water, but pukes it up within a few seconds. Here, take this. Malcolm is standing next to her with a white linen cloth in his hand, and he hands it to her. He is happy and smiling, and she wants to scream at him for finding joy in her misery. You like seeing me sick. Why are you so happy? She asks and places the cloth over her mouth, trying not to puke again. Bonnie has learned to be bolder and more straightforward with Malcolm, and to not fear him like she used to. He has never laid a hand on her, and she doubts he ever will. I am very happy you are sick, darling. What a thing to say. He gives her a kiss on the forehead. Excuse me. It means you are finally going to give me a baby. I almost gave up on you there. He jokes and hands her a glass of water. Here, try. Take another sip. His words make her sick again, and she turns her head away from him and starts to puke some more. He has been a nightmare the last 3 months. He is always grumpy and snappy with her. He is rough with her when he makes love to her, and he just wants to get it in. Anyway, excuse me. Let me be careful. He is rough with her when he makes love to her, and he avoids her whenever he can, except when he wants sex. He always wants sex. She doesn't understand what she did wrong, nor will she ever truly know or understand him. Malcolm is not like her. She can see that clearly now, and she wants to ask him about it, but knows that would be pushing her liberties too far. But now that she is pregnant, surely she can get away with it, she wonders. She decides to wait and see how he is at supper, and then she will consider asking him. Jane serves them their dinner, and they are having beef roast with cornbread and a mixed salad. I love that. An odd combination, she thinks. She waits for Jane to leave the room, and she lets him eat half of his plate, while she just pokes at her food and barely touches it. "What are you?" she asks and makes direct eye contact with him, but he ignores her completely. My back sore. "Malcolm, I heard you the first time." He snaps at her suddenly. "I just choose to ignore you." He takes another mouthful of his food and then looks up and gives her a fake smile and carries on eating. She drops her knife and fork loudly onto her plate like a child and sits back into a chair with her arms crossed. "If that ain't a tantrum, I'm carrying your child. I have the right to know." She snaps back at him. Malcolm looks up, and in that moment, she realizes she pushed him too far. With one swift movement, he throws his plate against the wall, and it shatters everywhere. She flinches, but keeps her eye contact with him. Inside, she is terrified and trembling, but she tells herself, "He won't hurt me. Not while I'm carrying the baby that he so longs for." His eyes are striking and intense, and she can't help but feel mesmerized by them. She leans forward and places both her hands flat on the table, and after a minute gets up and walks towards him. She walks up to where he is sitting and leans her buttocks on the edge of the table, keeping her eyes firmly locked on his. "Just tell me, Malcolm. I have nowhere to go, nor do I plan on going anywhere at all. I would just like to know what you really are. It is obvious that we are not the same." Her voice is calm, but her heartbeat tells him she is not really. He swallows hard and breaks his eye contact with her. He remembers Annabeth and her reaction and balls his hands into a fist. She places her hand gently onto his, and he releases his tight grip and relaxes almost completely. She proceeds to sit on his lap, places her hands firmly around the back of his head, forcing him to look at her, and asks him again, "What are you, Malcolm?" We're going to stop right there. I know y'all be like, "You was really getting in the groove, man." I ain't got no headache right now. Boy, y'all better be careful. We're going to hold it right there. It's going to get good, y'all. We are like almost a quarter way in, and it gets good. For those who were there for the read when I read this the first or the second time, it's really, really something. I really enjoyed this reading. I do. So I hope y'all get a picture of what's going on. Now, here she is, attempting to find out what I was reading to you beforehand. You got to remember, this is the Great Reset of 1834. Privy to that, we were dealing with 1851 to 1951. So we have this after, where we're looking at everything, and those Ashkenazis who came over, the robber barons, to clean everything up, who had made war already in the 1700s or the 700s. Remember what I was talking about? From the 2nd to the 6th century, then all of a sudden you have that gap, Arthur Kessler's 13th tribe, where there's 1,000 years. And all of a sudden 1,000 years pops up. It's not 1,000 years passes, but you have a gap, very short gap, and all of a sudden 1,000 years is added out of nowhere. Remember I was expressing to you about the buildings I saw, but 675, but before them was J or I or P. These things are real. These buildings were gilded in a different time, in a different millennium. They're old. And they were prepping for what? What was this great war, and who was it with? I look for many things going way to the past besides the Bible, looking at for the moon. Even in the Bible, never really mentioned. I can't find it. It just pops up out of nowhere. Those spears, the balls that were found in South America, they were found in other places and moved into museums and destroyed. They were weapons. Free energy. People like us able to live 12 times as more, to be able to smell miles, to be able to yell miles away and be heard. Those people who are the actual original monks, the temple I've been to, and I told you, those footprints in that hard ground, stomped into the ground. Can you imagine the power of those individuals that did that? What they had to consummate when they, in a relationship to what they had to fight? Because there was a great fight. There are billions of bones all over Earth. Billions, if not trillions. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this. I wanted to read this. This is from our lovely sister, our beloved, beautiful sister. Let me pull it up, if y'all don't mind. Okay. Now, why does it go to that? That makes no sense. So anyway, this is from Hope Ransom. She shared it to me, and I'm pretty quick read. The United States Attorney's Office, Eastern District of California. Arrest made in Central California biolab investigation. I'm going to read short 3 paragraphs. I'm going to mention something. So for immediate release, U.S. Attorney's Office, Eastern District of California, Thursday, October 19, 2023. It is legitimate. I already tapped the sign and went right to their page and knew exactly where to look. Fresno, California. Jah Brickz, a.k.a. Jesse Zhu, a.k.a. Kyung Hee, a.k.a. David He, 62 years old, a citizen of China who formerly resided in Clovis, was arrested today on a criminal complaint for manufacturing and distributing misbranded medical devices in violation of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, the FDCA. Anyway, and for making false statements to the Food and Drug Administration, FDA. U.S. Attorney Philip A. Talbot announced, as part of his scheme, the defendant changed his name and the names of his companies and their locations. Didn't the fake Jews in New York and all the cities and my brothers, y'all and sisters, y'all should know, do that all the time? U.S. Attorney Talbot said the disarray at the Reedley lab led to the glare of publicity he was trying to avoid, and the ensuing investigation unraveled his efforts to circumvent the requirements that are designed to ensure that medical devices are safe and effective. Providing materially false information to the FDA inspectors regarding medical device manufacturing and distribution impedes the agency's ability to protect public health, especially when those false statements relate to unauthorized and misbranded COVID-19 tests. Consumers who unknowingly use these misbranded COVID tests run the risk of, listen to this nonsense, of incorrect results about their COVID status, which can lead to further spread of the virus, said Special Agent in Charge Robert M. Awanaki, FDA Office of Criminal Investigations, Los Angeles Field Office. We will continue to investigate and bring to justice those who jeopardize the health of U.S. consumers. What so much BS? First of all, they wanted to control you on these platforms as you can't speak about it when it's your life and it's your choice, as if you really are cattle. Okay? But the mind-boggling thing is they're looking at one individual. What is that to you? Isn't that your Oswald? Isn't that a handful of Muslims when the FBI and everybody was involved in Malcolm X's assassination? Why are they still putting chemicals in the drinking water? And why are they still spraying over in the skies? Why do we have idiots who obviously were in psych wards, who's supposed to be working on computers and Facebook or platforms, all of a sudden in medicine, they have no degree in medicine or anything? Why all of a sudden we dealing with George Soros, who helped push the Black Lives Matter, and now the Black Lives Matter is an enemy of George Soros and all them fake Jews? And when are our brothers and sisters going to get together and stop paying attention to the mentally ill in the music and Hollywood industry? if you believe a dollar makes you smart and intelligent, no, it can make you walk around and carry yourself as if you're bigger than the lesser, as if those of you beneath them are peasants. Why is that people give this stuff energy? That right there to me means crap. Why? Crapiola. Why? Even though it's important, I want to read it to you so you can see how they see you. As you're dumb, meaningless, worthless, mindless. So mindless that they bring enemy soldiers, bring them in. A call went out by certain operators, whether it be ODA or whoever, the bad ones, to tell them, be here at this time so you can get across the border. You don't worry, you will get in. And then we'll have you out here and we'll take the ones who come, who we know of, we'll train you, arm you, weaponize you, and then when the time comes, we'll let you unleash hell. The problem is, we're not nobody's Negro, nor are we black. And they made one big mistake I cannot say on here. And thank you for that. Oh, thank you, my beautiful sister. I appreciate this so much. Let me shout you guys off, and we're going to get off of here before an hour. All right? Rondo, what's up, blood? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on, beloved? Lloyd, what's going on? What's going on, beloved? Oh, what's up, beloved? Trauma, what's going on, beloved? What's happening? What's happening? Max B, beloved. Oh, what's up, baby girl? Hey, Trauma. I got you. And what's that? Let me see. T, what's going on, baby? What's going on, beloved? Nah, sitting there, everything's good, man. I know you're gonna hook this one up with a good one, right? 6 Boss, what's up, beloved? Malcolm threw his plate, yo, and smashed it. Wait till we get down in there about halfway in. You're gonna be like, say what? Everybody, I think Lord, you was with me on that one, right? So you know, and then Rondo was. Trouble, I don't know, he may have been watching, I'm not sure. JB, what's going on, Tribe, baby? What's going on, beloved? But anyway, I just wanted to read that. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Go ahead and check out, it's a little over an hour. Check out Caramel. He did a pretty good one, pretty awesome. There's a lot of things you've heard me talk about, but he's using some very good information as far as sources and references. Write it down. Take it to your children. Take them out of them sick schools. Purchase a few of these books. I might, with some of these books that I've read a few times, I might even say, well, because I did it at first. I actually gave out. I would order like 6, 7 books, but we're not getting enough donations to do that. So, it would behoove you for those who like to purchase books to take the time to actually annotate some of these and purchase them, even if you don't read them or you read along. And to be able to share it, at least you'll have a little insight on being able to take these books and utilize them. You know what I'm saying? For self-interpretation and new discovery. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is good stuff, you know? I appreciate y'all taking the time out your day to come over for this reading. And we'll get at it tomorrow morning, share a little tea, and then around the same time tomorrow, around 3:30, 4 o'clock, we'll go ahead and get into the next reading, which will be pretty interesting. Appreciate you all. I do. Share this. If you donated, I don't know. I'm not going to look into this weekend. So if you didn't, I'm going to be like, yeah, okay, well, whatever. So my beloved sisters and my brothers on the brim, see y'all in the AM. All right.